That
Yes.
remind me of the fake professor in the second Harry Potter story. That he was actually not a hero, not a very good magician. He didn't actually destroy or did any heroic deeds. He just wiped the memories of all the witnesses and he
Mm-hmm.
posed as a hero. Ah, okay.
Exactly, exactly. So that's the false premise about the character, and we have no way of knowing. And in fact, J.K. Rowling in that story does a very interesting thing. She uh, gives him. Remember, there's a fake agenda that is being revealed, and then there's even worse ulterior motive uh, hidden behind it. So she reveals him at first as simply a loser, a kind of a blowhard type of character who's really clumsy and he cannot do any magic at all. Every time he tries to do something, he fails. So he becomes, in a way, sort of predictable, right? We already predict that he is terrible at magic. He cannot do any kind of magic. We just expect him to fail every time he tries something. And then she reveals that there is one kind of magic that he does exceptionally well and uses all the time, and that is memory wipe. So he is not terrible at everything. He's just terrible at everything useful, but he does one thing really well, and that's something unexpected. It still comes as a plot twist. That because and I can tell you exactly what kind of thing she is pulling off here. She makes it difficult for us to believe that Professor Lockhart, that kind of guy, can actually be dangerous. He's clumsy and safe. That's what she is saying. He cannot be a villain because he's clueless. He cannot be dangerous because he's bad at magic. That's the kind of thing she's establishing in our mind. But then turns out that he can be dangerous. That's the interesting plot twist that she does. So yeah.
I see it.
Cool. So we already familiar with pretty much most of my techniques, and all we can do is just continue coming up with more examples. So, for example, let's say that we have a marital drama, some kind of drama about a marriage on the rocks, and we want to apply complex surprise structure to that marital drama. And if you remember what complex surprise is we are providing multiple different possible interpretation for the clues that we're giving in our story, and we are hiding something else entirely behind the clues. So let's say marital drama, right? The husband and wife, they reach the point when they do not quite connect with each other anymore. So we establish that story is the kind of problem that need to be solved. The husband spends more and more time at work. When he is at home, he's kind of disinterested in his wife in some way. He can't wait to go back to work. And it looks like there's something happening that puts him constantly in a state of stress. What kind of stress, we don't know. The wife wants to investigate. So what could be causing all of that? What is the range of what could be the clues that we are setting up for the wife character that she could interpret in a bunch of different ways? What could be the obvious explanation for the husband's sudden preoccupation?
He talks very little with her when they're sitting to eat. He barely eats. He doesn't eat.
Okay.
He sees, look at her face, look at her eyes, and at night nothing happens. But she knows he's awake. He's not
Okay.
concealing any sleeping at all. He wakes up like 2 or 3 or 4 times a night.
So what is a possible interpretation of that? How can we sort of hand a possible idea of what it could be to our audience?
Problems at work.
Okay, what else?
some kind of debt. He owes some money to dangerous people, or
Right.
not dangerous people, but he owes money, and there's
Okay.
going to be a consequence, dangerous consequences, like getting
Okay.
killed, kidnapped, whatever, or they have to sell the house, or they're going to be evicted, something like that. Or
Okay.
if I go more there that he's been unfaithful, but
Mm-hmm.
the other relationship went to a wrong turn, and the other girl is actually pressuring him and threatening to show what's been happening, and he doesn't know how to solve this. But he's not telling his wife.
Awesome. Okay. What else?
uh, wow. He's sick. Uh, uh,
Excellent. Right.
uh, yes, terminal illness. He
Yeah.
doesn't know
Mm-hmm.
how to tell the wife, because maybe previously in the story shows them very happy and with lots of plans and a good future. Maybe the wife is pregnant, and just the moment she knows she's pregnant, he gets his diagnosis, but he doesn't know how to say it. What
Excellent.
else?
Mm-hmm. What
He
else?
found
What
out
could there be?
he finds out he has a son. He
Okay.
has a
Great.
son somewhere, and
Mm-hmm.
but he's trying to figure out where he is, or how old is he. But he got the information, but now he's I don't know, maybe with a little guilt, or trying to figure out how this did happen. Maybe they are married for the
Exactly.
last. They've been married
Mm-hmm.
for 5 years, but this son is this other kid is bigger than older. I don't
Okay.
know.
What else? Let's exhaust all the possible.
Of the possible.
Let me give you a.
Let me give you my version. He's being, he got fired a long time ago. He's ashamed to tell his wife that he lost the job and that he's draining their savings right now. All this time, he spends hunting for a new job, and he's not getting any job for the last few months. So he's very upset that he's ashamed of himself, and this shame prevents him from actually telling his wife what is happening. He could be in trouble at work for sexual harassment, and there's a legal consequences to something that he has done at work, something like that. He could be, I don't know. He is working on some important project that keeps him stressed. But he doesn't want to tell his wife, because if he succeeds in that project, he's going to get a major promotion, and he would be able to buy a house. And he already, to motivate himself further, he already put a down payment on that new house. So now it's either a life or death situation for him, a lot of high stakes.
The stakes,
Yes, the stakes.
So all of these things could be the kind of possible interpretations that we could keep indicating for our audience. We could provide a little clue that makes the wife figure out that that's what's going on, and makes our audience believe that. And we could virtually provide a clue for each of these possible interpretations, or for some of these possible interpretations, and then choose the one that is impossible to predict. We choose the one that we want to be true. We provide all the others, but we remove one that we want the story to be really about. So, for example, if we decide that this story is about his terminal illness, then we provide the clues that maybe he's cheating on his wife, maybe he is fired. There's some, like, she sees that he's going over his old resume. So this clue, have you been fired? Is something happening at work? Something like that. So we choose.
He's been texting with a woman.
Exactly.
Email from the same woman. but at the end it's actually the I don't know, the physician, the psychologist. I don't know.
Exactly, or a real estate agent, and the wife may think that he's having an affair, but actually he made down payment to the house. So, long story short, we can, and then we can twist it in whatever way we want. That would be very different from what we expected. So the wife realizes that he stays at work longer and longer hours. She decides to confront him. He comes to work because he said he's at work. She knocks at the door. The office is closed, and then the door is opened, and his secretary is there. And she's kind of agitated, excited, the secretary, and maybe slightly tipsy. So her worst suspicions are confirmed. He is cheating on her with the secretary, and she is demanding to see her husband. And sure enough, the husband shows up, and he is sweaty. There are signs that he was quickly putting his clothes on, or his, let's say, his tie is untied or tied wrong, and his shirt is untacked or something like that, and there is sweat, visible sweat. And the wife storms in. She wants to see what is happening there. She wants to, she's ready to divorce him. And then she sees a bunch of other guys there, and they're all playing ping pong. And she realizes that he has been not cheating on her, but something that was happening at work was a lot more fun than being with the family. And the thing that is happening at work is that everybody is, there's a ping pong table, and everybody started playing ping pong, and they play ping pong like competitively these days. And you know that playing this thing is kind of a lot of fun. So they're staying after hours, and they're so addicted to that she doesn't even think of his wife anymore. All he can think of is playing that game at work, and then he stays there until like midnight playing with his colleagues. And there's a lot of fun, and we could kind of treat it as a comedy, but that peculiar situation would be a total left turn kind of plot twist. Everything that we provided right now, I deliberately took the kind of thing that we didn't think about and gave something entirely different. So something like that, you know, that would be the left turn plot twist. But that's how complex surprise works. We provide every possible clue that can create multiple false premises in the minds of our audience and maybe the investigating character. And then one clue that we did not provide, or maybe we even provided but it was considered unimportant, is the ping pong. So that would be the complex surprise kind of thing. Very useful technique.